I invite you to imagine you are someone else for a moment. Imagine you are Luz, and you have been struggling since you were a kid. You were separated from your family at the age of 6, and when you form your own family, your husband dies, and you are left to care for small children on your own. When you finally arrive to the United States, the weather is too cold, rent is too expensive, and language is a huge barrier, not to mention that money dwindles. What if you were defined only by your struggles and no one knew about how you managed to raise amazing adults as a single mom, that your love for your children helped you overcome, that you learned to layer up in the winter to appreciate the snow, that you are learning English despite the difficulty, and that you came to America to pursue your lifelong dream of becoming a photographer after your children were grown? How would you feel if your story was incomplete or misconstrued? My name is Maribel Rodriguez, and I am the founder of Love4Immigrants. Love4Immigrants is a social space for immigrant support. It aims to connect immigrants to their communities as respected, loved, and heard individuals by sharing their narrative through art and storytelling. You see, immigration is not just a topic for me. For me, it is about my mother, who came to the United States from Colombia because she observed that older people had opportunities to work here, unlike in her country. It is about my fiance, whose family came from Ethiopia to the United States after he finished middle school and has now built a new life. And it is about my childhood friends, whose family left the poverty in Mexico to work harder than anyone can imagine. Allowing for a culture that dehumanizes people because of where they come from allows for a culture that dehumanizes you and your family in stories, in the media, and in conversation for any way in which you are different. And if this continues, America will not only be unsafe and unwelcoming for immigrants, but it will be unwelcoming for all. Things need to change, and together we need to do more because we still have a long way to go. The need for progress is evident. According to the Anti-Defamation League, an organization fighting anti-Semitism, anti-immigrant fervor has been increasingly mainstreamed over the last 10 years. Anti-immigrant groups and activists use social media to demonize immigrants and get their message across to the public. Time reminds us how even our former President Trump has spent his entire presidency building upon the anti-immigrant and anti-Latino rhetoric. And that's not all. In 2020, Love4Immigrants asked the community what they thought about how immigrants are portrayed in the media and in the arts. And we found that although the community saw some progress and they also saw some positive narratives, 43% of the survey respondents thought that the narratives were negative, racist, or that there was not enough progress or representation. Even just one person feeling this way is too many. So that is why, similarly to StoryCorps and Humans of New York, at Love4Immigrants, we are trying to help people change the story they tell themselves and others, ultimately seeking systemic change and focusing on tackling the root issue, which is the ideology that drives society, in hopes of creating new ideologies which allow people to see the humanity in others and open doors for basic human rights for immigrants. In 2017, we started with creating photo essays and partnering with 3 immigrant serving organizations, documenting their solidarity, which culminated with an exhibit at Ayuda's fundraiser. Most recently, this past summer, we had our first collaborative and virtual art healing exhibit and speaker series, highlighting 16 artists and 6 mental health experts and healers. So if this is a cause that resonates with you, if changing the narratives that misrepresent immigrants is something you would like to do, join Love4Immigrants in building a future where all the stories we tell display immigrants with dignity and respect, and where their added value is acknowledged, and where acceptance reigns over discrimination. You can learn more about our work at love4immigrants.org. Thank you so much for your time.